I don't want to jinx it. But are we live? Like, can you see me? And I can see you? And this is all good and we're fixed. I even am trying to cross my toes and I don't know how to cross my toes. Can you see me? I can see you. Can you see me? Yes! We're here. Okay. I've been sitting here live for about 10 minutes. I've been trying to make it happen. I'm like, come on! Mercury is not retrograde right now. Yes! We are here right now today. Oh, God. Oh, I just want to kiss you on the lips. We're live. I see you. Welcome in. I'm having a great day. I hope you are too. And now the technology is going to work, so this is going to be a party. It's going to be a party. Welcome in, everybody. Yay. We're doing readings on Thursday. I know not everybody knows. The schedule's different this month because my family and I are taking a vacation. We're leaving this weekend. And we will be gone until the full moon. So you have your first two classes back to back and your second two classes back to back so that my family and I, we haven't had a vacation in 2 years, can unplug a little bit. We're very excited. So I'm so happy. Happy early birthday to Carolyn. I'm so happy that you guys are here. At least we're live. So I'm going to be here with you until about 10 after 3 today, and then I have to take a break to finish prepping our class, because our class today is a big class. We're going to be talking about Tantra, and we're going to be talking about Kundalini, and we're going to be talking about desire and sex and manifestation and energy and lower chakras and all the things today. So we've got a big class ahead of us. I hope you're ready. I hope you're excited. I'm not talking too much about where we're going on vacation, by the way, just because this is a completely just insulated family vacation. I hope that's okay. I'm not trying to keep it secret, but we're kind of just like, I'm not like working while I'm away. This is just a chance for me and the kids and Dave to unplug. So I'll probably go live and say hi to you from when I'm traveling, but for right now, we're kind of just keeping it to ourselves because I just energetically, I don't know if this makes sense to you, I'm a traveler. And energetic, like I haven't gone anywhere. I haven't really left this house for more than 24 hours in over 2 years. And so energetically, I just want to feel completely unplugged, if that makes sense. And we're going somewhere really private and secluded and quiet and, and safe from COVID. And so it's just like, oh, I'm so excited to go and just have some time away. So, and I wish that for you too. I hope you have a chance at some point, this year to have a little bit of a time, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not going to post on Facebook. I'm not talking about being on vacation. I'm not sharing. I'm not posting pictures. It's just going to be me and the kids and Dave just having like a little bit of like quiet, you know what I mean? So it's not a secret. It's just like energetically, I want to be off radar so that we can just go and enjoy and have a peaceful space. Yeah, it's going to be really good. I need it. I need vitamin D. My vitamin D levels are dangerously low again, which happens because I'm not outdoors enough. So I'm going to get some vitamin D and just be with the kids and put my phone somewhere in my suitcase and not look at it. It's kind of my plan. Yeah, don't worry, Megan. We're good. And so I want you to know, I'm going to announce this live tonight too. Alexis is going to be going live each day in my place to show you what's new at Sage Goddess, because we're still bringing you new things every day. It's just I'm going to be traveling. And so could you do me a favor? Would you do me a favor? Would you try to catch her if you can, and would you share her live? Because I think it'd be really cool to support Alexis, who's supporting me, so that my family and I can have a little bit of a decompression. You know what I mean? Because my intuition is this fall and winter is not going to be very easy for the human species. So I'm trying to get, my guides have been like, travel now, because the fall and winter are not going to be so easy. So please try to see if you can catch, Alexis while she's live and support her and maybe share that with your communities and your peoples, because she's going to do a great job and I know she would love to have your support too. I appreciate it. You know me, I never go anywhere. I'm always around, so it's weird for me to unplug a little bit, but it's so needed energetically too. Yeah. Well, she's going to do a fantastic job. You know what she's going to have with her? Oscar and his therapist. These are coming to you tomorrow, Alexis. You know, I've never been in better hands. You know, I know Alexis is going to look out for me, and he's very excited to be with you, Alexis. I won't be traveling anymore this year, except for October. My best friend, Kirsten Powers, is getting married in Washington, D.C., and it's a super small wedding, like, you know, half a dozen people. So I will be going to D.C. in October for a few days, and then I'll be going hopefully to the Denver Gem Show. I'll be bringing you along, obviously, if we get to go to Denver, if that isn't canceled. I have a lot of vendors who are not coming to Denver, so I don't know if we're going. And then that will be it for me until 2022. So you're not going to miss me too much more for the rest of the year. In Denver, I'll be live with you every day if I'm able to go. And I'll probably still be live with you from DC in some way. I'm just going out for her wedding. Yeah. I think so. I think she's going to keep the timing the same. I think that's the plan. Hey, Alexis, are you planning your Oscar voice? I don't know if you are or not. So let's dive right in. I'm going to go to Carolyn too. You're in Salisbury? Wouldn't it be fun? I want to do a meetup on the East Coast. This trip may have to be so short that I can't. I used to work in Alexandria, Virginia. I don't know if you know where that is, but I worked there a week a month for about 2.5 years. So I love Virginia, DC. It's kind of a second home to me. You know what I mean? All right, so Carolyn, happy early birthday to you. And I'm going to go in and do a quick birthday reading for Carolyn. And then anybody else who's got a birthday reading, you chime on in, cuties. All my Cancer favorites. Let's see what's going on for you. So I want to thank my spirit guides for helping me be a good channel. I want to ask your spirit guides to help us open to the space. I want to give thanks for wisdom and insight that's already on its way. So it is. And this is a birthday reading for Carolyn. What can we tell Carolyn about the year ahead? What she needs to know? This is the Ask and It Is Given deck. It's one of my favorites. It's the one I was called to today. It's an old, well-loved deck by Esther and Jerry Hicks, who you probably are well familiar with. So Carolyn, here's your birthday card, beautiful. My desires and beliefs are only thoughts. And it says, your desires and beliefs are just thoughts. Ask and it is given. You ask through your attention, through your wanting, and through your desire. That is the asking. Whether you desire it to happen or you desire it not to happen, you are asking. This is why one of the reasons why I love Esther Hicks. I find a lot of resonance there, and a lot of truth in that wisdom. So, what are you asking for, Carolyn? What's your birthday wish? I think it's an important point. We often ask for things and we don't realize we're asking because your attention is the ask. So that's why I'm always telling you, be careful what you pay attention to, because you're paying for it, right? It's like you're calling it in by just giving it your conscious awareness. Well, the universe is, what the guides are saying is the universe is acknowledging there are multiple things you're asking for right now, Carolyn. One will come to pass this year, one will not. 2023, ooh, we're pushing the timeline out. Something you're asking for is big, and they're saying you know this too. It's like it's going to take about 2 years for that other, whatever that other wish is. It's going to take 2 years for it to come to pass. But there is something that you're working on, that you're focusing on, that is going to come to you in the next 6 to 12, they're saying, 6 to 12 months. This feels more energetic around love, passion, desire, more of the physicality. And then the other one that's a little bit further out for you, Are you moving your office? Are you expanding your office? There's something like that that feels like it's a little bit further out. And so, and here we are, right? Your birthday's on the new moon, and we're in the shadow of the new moon. So this is the right time to start setting the intentions, holding the space, magnetizing the frequency, doing the, what I call the back end work of starting to create the space for what you're calling in. That feels like a good opening to where we're heading, right? Oh, I want to come to St. Louis and get taken care of by Yvonne. That sounds wonderful, actually. I could be in St. Louis in the next like 6 hours if I got to LAX right now. I haven't had anyone like look after me in such a long time. The whole concept of that is very exciting. I know. Okay. Woo. Let me go down in the feed here. This is the Ask and It's Given by Esther and Jerry Hicks. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Yeah, the office expansion, was I right on the timeline or am I off on the timeline? Because they're showing me 2023, like early 23. Could be late 2022. But I see your office expanding. Are you adding? I'm going to tell you what I see, Carolyn. I see rooms, and I don't know what the rooms are for, but they're not like exam rooms. These seem like, it's like magical spaces, like sacred spaces. So if I was going to call what I'm seeing in my vision, it's like your medical offices and your professional offices, but I'm also seeing these other spaces that are like sound chambers or meditation spaces. I can't tell what it is, but they're very luxurious, they're beautiful, very aesthetic, but they're not like treatment rooms in the traditional medical sense. I love it. Cindy says, my birthday is on the full moon in July this year. It's the day I get back. She said she's turning 60, would love a reading. Let's see what's coming up for your big 6-0, baby. My big 5-0 will be in 2023. Oh yeah. We just get better with age, girl. Let's see what's coming up for you. For Cindy. This is great wisdom for 60, don't you think? And how's your second Saturn return going? I will love where I am right now. And the card says, there is nothing that you cannot be, do, or have, and we want to assist you in achieving that. But we love where you are right now, even if you do not, because we understand how joyful the journey to where you want to go will be. The guides are wanting me to show you the art. Is there some part of you that feels like you're singing inside of a cage? Not for long. There's a theme going, you know what I mean? It started with Carol and it's picking up with Cindy. There's this theme of like expansion and evolution, and that maybe one day you'll look back at the cage being closed for a little while and see the sweetness of that. I know for sure that there will be a time in my life, which is why I haven't wished this last year away, even though it's been really hard. I know there will be a time in my life where I look back and I give thanks for just having my kids with me around the clock, you know what I mean, when they're young. Or I know that these are blessings, even though we look at it and go, oh, I wish this was over, or this has been hard, or whatever, right? I think there's a sweetness to these days. Maybe soak up these last days of 59, you know? Because the turn of the wheel of the decade is a cycle. It's big. 39 to 40, 49 to 50. The nines, do you guys know about this in astrology? The nines are big. I hope you're listening, because you'll all hit a 9 at some point. Not every, but most of the planets in my natal chart are on the 9th degrees, which is a signal to astrologers that you're at the end of your rope. And so maybe that's why I have this like keen awareness of of conclusions, of cycles completing, right? And it's like this human life is really fun. For all of the shittiness that it can create, and the stress and the tension and the humanity and the peopleness of it, there is something like serendipitous about being human that we can't replicate in the spirit realm. Are you a 9? Yeah. I'm not a 9, life path, but everything else in my chart is a 9. I was born on the 9th, right? Okay, let's see. Maribel Garcia, any guidance in the refinancing of your home and me medically retiring from my job? Well, I can tell you as someone who understands what's happening in the global financial markets, because that's kind of a hobby of mine, there's no better time to refinance your home, and you should do it sooner than later. Let me see what the cards are saying to you. Maribel. What does she need to know? Nothing happens without my having invited it. Isn't that true? When you understand the law of attraction, you are never surprised by what occurs in your experience, for you understand that through your own thought process, you have invited everything in. Nothing can occur in your life experience without your invitation of it through your thought. Ooh. So have you already imagined what retirement's going to look like for you? It's time. I think you're going to have an easy go of it. And I think you're creating, this is what the guides are saying, I think you're creating this environment of, let me try and get the camera to focus. There you go. I think you're creating a little bit of ease and flow in all the different parts of your life so that this time in your life will unfold more smoothly. You've been through some real cosmic challenges in the last 3 to 5 years is what the guides are saying, starting back in 2015 to 2018, 2019 were some challenging years for you. There's some stress on you right now that doesn't need to be there, and I think that's what you're trying to alleviate. Is that right? And this is important because when you take the stress off, your entire health is going to evolve. And the stress is like unnecessary. So this all feels really good. It feels like you're following spirit guidance and that everything is going to unfold in perfect time. You're a projector too. So remember, when you're a projector, that you are, your job really is to help the rest of us find clarity, to teach the rest of us how to do this thing, this human life. But if you don't have the time and the space and the downtime and the alone time and the integration time as a projector, you can't do that effectively. You have to have that time for your own reflections before you can be an accurate projector for everybody else. So I want to see you create that space, Maribel, because I think you're going to be an even more powerful projector once you're not so overwhelmed. I really do. Okay. Let's see. Going back up in the feed. Christina Gossett. She said, "Good afternoon, Athena. Hi, I'm so happy you're here." She said, "Would love some insight on what lies ahead for me. Do the guides have anything to say?" Always have stuff to say, Christina G. Let's see what's going on for Christina Gossett today. Christina. What does Christina need to know? She doesn't know right now. It's an interesting card. Moods are indicators of my emotional set points. It says, when you continue to focus on any thought, it becomes increasingly easy to continue to focus on it because the law of attraction is making more thoughts like it available to you. Does that make sense? And so emotionally speaking, you're developing a mood, or you're achieving a habitual vibrational groove, so to speak, or a set point. Does that make sense to you? Christina, I'm really glad you pulled this card, and I hope the rest of you are listening to it. I want to explain this concept to you one more time. A lot of times people don't make the connection between their habitual thoughts and the outcomes in their life. They don't realize what a set point is. A set point is your body, mind, and spirit reacting to a consistent vibration that you have set consciously or subconsciously that's now being activated in your life because you've been summoning it or calling it in. And a lot of times we do this unconsciously. Manifestors do this consciously. We're like, I want this house, I want this job, I want this life, I want this kind of partner or whatever, and we just like focus, and we create a set point and it comes to us. But a lot of times we create unconscious set points. You know what I mean? Because when we worry about something, we do the same thing. And so we end up manifesting what we don't want. But the universe can't tell if we want something or we don't want something. The universe operates on frequency. So the universe is like, oh, Athena's thinking about this thing all the time. We should bring that to her. And I might be going, no, I don't want that. I'm focusing on it because I'm worried about it. The universe can't tell the difference between worry and desire. They're both very strong emotions. And so you might be like, no, I don't want that. But it's like, well, then why are you focusing on it all the time? Where your focus goes, energy grows. So Christina, I feel like this is an invitation to you to really become mindful. We are in the shadow of a new moon, right? This is the dark moon tonight. And tomorrow is the new moon in Cancer. And this new moon governs all intentions around family, home, love, relationship, forgiveness, compassion. Because at their best, Cancer is very forgiving. At their worst, they never forgive. This is the pendulum that swings. Cancers will hold a grudge for the rest of their life. And ultimately, when Cancers do that, it compromises their health. It's really true. It's the downfall of Cancers when they can't forgive. So anyway, I share all this with you. I think this is the right time for you to focus on, like, okay, so what am I giving my lifeblood to? What am I giving my attention to? What am I giving my time to? And make sure that whatever that is, especially in the next 24 hours, is completely aligned with what you're trying to manifest or create. And again, this new moon is going to highlight energies around home, family. And I'm not saying this is easy. I struggle with it. I often will still get into those patterns of like focusing on things I don't want to create. And it's like, why am I doing? I mean, I know better. So, but even when we don't know better, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make a difference because the universe can't tell whether you know better or don't. I'm glad Christina Gossip pulled that for us. All right, Cindy Robles, hold on. Come to me, darling. If you feel called, there you are, Cindy. I would love a reading. I feel like every reading resonates, probably because I listen to Esther all the time. Yeah, I think Esther Hicks is a good channel. I don't always agree with everything, but I listen. You know what I mean? I'm on a Sadhguru kick right now. Sadhguru floats my boat. I get on kicks. Sometimes I'll be like all Sadhguru, all Esther Hicks, all Osho. Like I go on these kind of like, who else have I been hooked on in the past? It comes and goes for me. So let's see, Cindy. You're saying ancestral work is what's coming up for you. Nothing happens without my having invited it. This is the same card. When you understand the law of attraction, you're never surprised by what happens in your experience, for you understand that through your own thought process. You've invited it in. Nothing can occur in your life experience without your invitation of it through your thought. And again, that thought can be a fear-based thought. It doesn't mean you invited it in like, oh yeah, I want this not great experience. It means you invited it in through fear and anxiety. All right, let me see what the guides are saying. Lineage stuff. Grandfather stuff. That's what they're talking about. The divine masculine in your family line. Do you know the stories there? There's something, paternal grandfather is where they're taking me first. Both of your grandfathers are important in your development, but your paternal grandfather, um, you have a lot of his energy in your field. That's interesting, right? Do you look like him? Is there something, do you know what the connection is there? His energy can be an ally to you, and understanding more about his life, his choices, his path, his energy, his decisions. The universe is kind of bringing you back to him. Might be good for you to explore in a journey. You know what I mean? Some way of connecting with him. He has a message for you. Yeah. Interesting to know what that means for you. The grandparents don't always show up, but the men in your line have something to teach you right now that's important, right? Hey, Sovereign of the Void, remind me of first name. When you guys are in the feed, and Novice Novelist too, I know you guys have told me before, but it just helps me when you guys have your handles that are not your first name. Because I'm not, I move, I don't hold energy. Can you just remind me when you're asking for a reading and give me the first name with your question so I don't skip over it? Because when I'm reading, I don't know if you've noticed, but I say your name 3 times out loud, and I have to do that to access your energy field. And it's not that I like forget, but it's just when I'm in the feed, I'm kind of focusing in a lot of different places. So it's helpful for me if you can put your first name again with your question, and that way I can, yeah, thank you. I thought so, but I don't want to make a mistake. And Melissa, April and Melissa. See, I know, when you tell me, I know it, like Melissa J, but it's helpful for me, like you just remind me, and I appreciate it. Okay, let me go back. You had a feeling I would call for it? Okay, so let me go back to April. Hold on. Did you ask yesterday too? You were on my mind last night. Isn't that interesting? Let me see what's coming up around you today. April. She said, can I have a reading about what I need to do in order to activate positive change? Yeah, there's something. You have a past life situation too, which is why this is coming up now. I don't think it's the same masculine lineage, because for you it feels feminine, but let me just double check. Yeah, this is grandmother, mother, grandmother, great-grandmother. Let's see if this resonates with you. Why are they not getting what they are asking for? If people are not receiving what they are asking for, it can only be that the person holding the desire is out of alignment with the request. There is no shortage, there is no lack, there is no competition for resources. There is only the allowing or the disallowing of that which one is asking for. They're talking about forgiveness and your female lineage. Mother, grandmother, great-grandmother. I don't know that it's necessarily you forgiving. I think it's more about just forgiveness in that line in general. And these women who couldn't forgive, somebody couldn't forgive in that line, and it created a it's a pause in the energy when somebody can't forgive, even if it's not you. Forgiveness is kind of the lubricant for energy, right? Which is why we have, I mean, I'm not going to say it that way. What I would have said is we have to forgive. I have plenty of you who say you can't ever forgive things that have happened to you. And I don't want to be disingenuous or to ignore what you're saying. But my personal philosophy is that forgiveness is for you. Forgiveness is not for other people. Forgiveness is something that you do for you to create compassion and grace within you so that your body, your mind, your spirit can be healed. Here's what's coming through, April, and you tell me if this resonates with you. I think it's possible for you, energetically, because we can always do the work on our lineage. I think you can open a door of forgiveness that opens the door for them, like one door at a time. You open a door, each one opens a door to let some energy flow through. There's a stagnation in the feminine line that is preventing some of the change and some of the flow of energy that you're seeking. And because they weren't able to create that, this becomes an opportunity now for you to step forward and to open that door. Does this make sense to you? So what can we do today, April, that hasn't been done before? Are you ready to do some ceremony around that? I don't know if you want to. I mean, it's always a choice. But I feel like you could, if you wanted to, you could open the door to that forgiveness and that healing. And I think when we do that, we actually allow those spirits to rest in a way that they can't rest until we do it. And then I think if we don't do it, the can gets kind of kicked down the road. Does that make sense to you? Yeah, let's do it. Reiki, let's start with Reiki, right? Use some of your symbols, right, to open that door. And then I would say, let me see what else is coming up for the how. Drumming. There's some forgiveness around, there's a child involved. Did something happen to a child or with a child? Loss of a child? Something there. Generations back. It's like self-forgiveness there that needs to happen. I hope that's helpful for you. Okay, quite a few of you are pointing me toward Nancy Sue Myers, and I need to make sure that Nancy Sue is here and that she's asking, because I can't read for someone without their permission. So let me just make sure that Nancy Sue is here. I'm looking for you, Nancy Sue. Nancy Sue, if you are here, would you mind just commenting? Because I just would really hesitate to read for you if I didn't see that you were asking. Okay, and I'm not seeing Nancy Sue. So as soon as I see you, Nancy Sue, I will come back to you. Yeah, your grandmother abused your father. I think you'll know how to open that door when the time comes. Oh, you are here. All right, Nancy Sue, here you go. I would love a reading today. Still dealing with hubby's health issues and would love to hear what Spirit has for me. Hi, Nancy Sue. I hope that you understand where I'm coming from when I ask you to comment, because I respect you guys so much that I just wouldn't want to be in your energy field without your permission. I know it probably seems crazy sometimes, but I was trained not to ever enter anyone's energy field without their explicit permission, so. And I love you, and I try to be very careful because of how I was trained. So Nancy Sue, let's see what's going on with you, what's going on with hubby's health. And guys say they want to talk about you. It's the same card. Why are they not getting what they're asking for? If people are not receiving what they're asking for, it can only be that the person holding the desire is out of alignment with their own request. There is no shortage, there is no lack, there is no competition for resources. There is only the allowing or the disallowing of that which one is asking for. It's interesting. It reminds me of what we were talking about yesterday. Are you clear, Nancy Sue, about your intention? About what you want here? I know that's a big question. Make sure that what you intend and what you desire, that you are energetically in alignment with it. I'll give you an example of not being in alignment. And this is just an example. This is not you or anybody you know. But I'll give you an example from my own family. I have a family member who is not well. And claims to want to be well, but then if this person was well, they would not get the time, attention, resources that they would get if they were well. And so they don't really want to get well, but they say they want to get well, and then they don't get well. And I believe it's because subconsciously they don't want the wellness. The wellness would require them to take more responsibility, take a more active role, take a more, my pendulum is like, so sometimes we say we want something and then energetically we're not aligned to it. So in your case, I don't know what that is, but it feels like there's some in your field, which could include your immediate family. There's a little bit of a misalignment between the intention and the outcome. And it could be subconscious. People say to me all the time, oh, I just want prosperity, I just want abundance, I just want all of this. And then it doesn't happen for them. And the spirit guides will show me they don't want prosperity. They're terrified of prosperity because if they become prosperous, they're going to have to take responsibility, probably move to a different area, do different work. The family's going to shift. They're going to have more responsibilities. They're not going to be able to just stay home. You know what I mean? Like this, there's like 20 different things that are going to happen if they start experiencing abundance. And spirit guides are like, they don't want this. They say they want it, but the experience of having abundance and prosperity would change every single part of their life, and they don't want that. They want everything to stay the same, but just with more money, and that's not how it works. So I don't know if that's resonating, but yeah. Okay, let's see. So Melissa has a birthday tomorrow. Melissa. All right, let's see what's going on for you, Melissa, with your birthday reading. Can I just tell you how much I love me a Cancer woman? I got to grow up with my sister who's a Cancer, and you guys are magical and deep and always there for, I mean, so intuitive, so connected. You guys are the caretakers, the caregivers, the keeper of tradition, the sensitives, right? I don't know. I just have so much love for Cancer in general, but Cancer women are just my jam. So happy birthday to all of you beautiful Cancers in my life. I just love you and appreciate you. And so Melissa, who shares my dad's birthday tomorrow. Let's see what's coming up for you. Interesting card. An empty feeling is telling me something important. This card says, a negative feeling indicates that your current choice of thoughts is out of harmony with your source energy. You could say that your fuel tank is approaching empty. Your emotions do not create, but they do indicate what you are currently attracting. Right, we create with our thoughts, not our emotions, but your emotions are the indicator. They tell you where the gas tank is, whether it's full or empty. So it's time for a shift, is what the guides are saying. This new moon is not an accident for you, Melissa. And so what is your intention for a different experience at home and in your relationship? And how can you remember that, you know, from my perspective as kind of Pollyanna, as it probably sounds, I don't necessarily think in terms of like positive, negative. I think in terms of polarity. So when I have a down day or a bad day, or I feel anxious, or I feel frustrated, or I feel resentful or angry, I look at that and I ask myself, what is the opposite of that? And then I work to reach the opposite flow. So to what I call flip the script, right? So if you've been having these kind of negative thoughts or emotions or feelings, you need to ask yourself what the polar experience of that is, whatever the opposite of that is, and then make it your goal to kind of navigate your path to get to that place of opposition of that experience or that feeling. So this year, what does polarity look like? And maybe this is the year of you realizing you have that superpower of being able to transform at any moment from the lower vibration to the higher vibration, right? So if you're seeking foundation in life, right, um, that is the opposite of feeling disorganized or disconnected, right? So you're already working in polarities. And so what does, at this new moon, and think about it, Cancer rules home, Cancer rules the foundations, Cancer rules comfort zone, Cancer rules everything that feels like nurturing and connection and belonging, right? So at this new moon, I want you to set an intention for what that solid foundation in your life will look like. For it to be nurturing, for it to be supportive, for it to be in alignment, you know, with your deepest emotional sense of truth and compassion and connection. Lauren Conway says, my niece is due any day now, and she has visited me twice in my dreams. She hasn't said anything. Is there something she wants to tell me before she gets here? I'm glad that resonates with you, by the way, Melissa. Okay, so let me see, Lauren, what's coming up from your niece, and congratulations to your family. Isn't that a blessing? Lauren. A Cancer woman coming into the world. What does she want to say? She already has a name, she's saying? What is her name? She says she already has a name. And she's communicating with you because you've requested it. My attention to it invites it in. Every thought that you give your attention to expands and becomes a bigger part of your vibrational mix. Whether it is a thought of something you want or a thought of something you don't not want, your attention invites the essence of it into your experience. So, if that's true, then your connection with her has come at your invitation. So I'm going to turn the question back on you, Lauren. What is it that you want to know from her? Interesting shift of perspective, isn't it? What you seek is seeking you, right? What is seeking you is being sought by you. So what are you seeking her for? It's important to remember that the young ones are our teachers. We're not just their teachers, right? So what is she coming in to show you? What is she coming in to teach you? And what are you seeking from her in this connection too? If you look at each other as equals, because you are, this child who isn't even born yet is just as old as you are, if not older. So don't be deceived by her small size when she comes in. We have to get through a vagina. It's a real big fucking barrier. You know what I mean? So we all have to come in somewhere between 2 and 12 pounds to be able to fit through and say hello, right? After that, we, find our way to adulthood. But children have just as much intelligence as we do. So is she calling you or are you calling her? And what will she teach you? Interesting. So you are hoping to heal your relationship with your sister through this form. And that's very possible. But then that becomes an intention, and you have this new moon in Cancer to set that intention, right, for you and your sister to bond through the experience of your niece coming through. By the way, that is not, this is why I love doing readings. That is not what I would have told you. Like when this stuff comes through from Spirit, I'm like, what? That's fascinating, right? She's already driving that bus, Lauren. Good luck. She's like, what does she want? Yeah, somebody's got to come through of a JJ, baby. Or through a very small cut in my stomach, which I had one of those too, right? Dina Boyer, do the guides have any messages for me pertaining to my current situation, loss of career? I saw your post, by the way. Relationship, depression battles. Thank you if you feel called. I love you, Dina. You're in the thick of it right now, I know. Please remember that I've been where you are. And so when I say I see you, it's not some superficial thing. It's like I've been in that crucible before. Dina. Since every request is granted, I feel no competition. It's a big learning edge for a lot of us. Because a lot of us feel like we're in competition. Like probably sometimes you even feel like that here in the feed, like you're competing for a reading maybe, right? But every request is granted by the universe, right? So there is no competition. It's a reset of your perspective, right? It's a mindset shift. Like, oh, everything I ask for I do get a response. It just, sometimes I have to understand the response and where it's coming from and why it might not be exactly what I was imagining. It says, there is no end to the universal resources that fulfill your requests. And there is no end to the answers to the never-ending stream of questions. And for that reason, there is no competition. You know what the spirit guides are saying? You're at the beginning of a very interesting transition and transformation. This is actually an answer to a prayer. Doesn't look like it right now, huh? You will be able to see it later. You know, when you look back at, and it might be a year from now, but when you look back through this, like the birth canal of this experience that you're going through, you're going to see that it's all happening in service of your greatest good. Something in this is an answer to prayer for you. But it's buried under a lot of stuff where you're like, really? If you can hold the space, Dina, that this is actually an unfolding that is aligned to your wishes and your highest good, you will see it, but you may not be able to see it right away. I'm sure it doesn't. And let me tell you something, when I was where you are, I probably would have told me to fuck off. I mean, I'm laughing, but I probably would have been like, okay, Athena, well, you can fuck right off with that because this is hard and this doesn't look like what I wanted and I don't want this and this is hard and why me and I deserve better, you know, like all the things that we do. There's something in this that is going to ultimately be a blessing, bigger than what you had before. But it's going to be hard to see it for a minute. Just remember, you and I will celebrate it on the back end. Yep. Aw, thank you, Sherry, for that. I'm glad that was a blessing for you. I'm really happy to hear that. All right, Michelle, sweetheart. Did I pronounce that right? She said, may I have a card, please? Let's see what's coming up for Michelle. Are you drawing something, Dina? Why are they talking about a drawing? Do you have drawings? Are you designing something, I guess is what I'm asking you. They're showing me like a notebook with some drawings. If you know what I'm talking about, that has something to do with this. I have no idea what they're showing me. It's just when I design things, sometimes I'll draw things in a notebook. That's the only like schema I have for what they're showing me. Michelle. I am rediscovering the art of allowing my natural well-being. Yep. This is for you, Michelle. It says, we call this discipline the art of allowing. It is the art of allowing the well-being, which makes up every particle of that which you are and that which you come from, to continue to flow through you as you continue to be. A cool one. I am rediscovering the art of allowing my natural well-being. The guides are saying this is coming through rest for you. Have you been resting more? They're talking about you designing something too. I don't know what this is about. but this could be something that you should offer or could offer. It's like I don't know if you're teaching well-being or if you have students, or if you don't, you could. It's this question of how do we create natural wellness through surrender instead of being actively involved in the process, which half the time doesn't help anyway, right? When humans try to interfere, we make a mess. Are you a writer? There's some kind of writing or something that you need to be doing or you could be doing, and it's like a reflection on your own experience. It almost feels like an autobiography. Do you have a lot of wisdom to share with other people? Maybe if that doesn't sound good to you or that's overwhelming to you, could you start by just collecting a few of your best tips or suggestions? I just feel like there's information that you should be sharing, and they're showing me writing. Little chunks. Could you make an oracle deck? Like, would you be open to that? I don't know. I'm trying to make sense of what they're showing me. It's like little chunks of writing, and they keep saying, so that you don't feel overwhelmed, this could come in a different void, or a different form. It could be an oracle deck. It could be like little tiny cards. You know what I mean? Like little tips and suggestions or things like that. Yeah. Oh, you're so welcome. Okay. Going back up in the feed, or yeah, like a blog. Yeah, a blog would be good. Where am I going, Spirit? Rachel Gardner. She said, hi, Athena, my birthday's on the 19th. Happy birthday. It's the day after my wedding anniversary. And she said she would love a birthday reading. It would be her first. Well, happy birthday to you. Rachel, Rachel, Rachel. Let's see what the universe wants to tell you for your birthday. And again, thank you for being, I love my Cancer sisters. So grateful to you. Well-being. Absolute well-being is the basis of my universe. It says well-being is the basis of all that is. It flows to you and through you. You only have to allow it, like the air you breathe. You only have to open, relax, and draw it into your being. That's interesting. It makes me emotional. Here's what's coming. Feels like this year has been hard. This last birth year of yours. This year needs to be more about you, is what they're saying. Time for you, space for you, what you love, what you do. They're showing me Kuan Yin. I feel like I want to cry. It's like you've poured it all out for other people this year. Is that true? So it feels good to wish you a year of you, where it's not just about, what you can do or how you can support other people or be there for them. I'm sorry, it makes me very emotional. I mean, when I tap into your field, I feel you. This year needs to be a return to you, of your energy to you, your time to you, your joy to you. And not to feel guilty about that, because the scales have been out of balance, is what I'm gathering for you. So now it's time to right the scales again, yeah? Yeah. There's compassion for you in the field, Rachel. Yeah, Melissa, I hope that reading was good for you. I hope it was helpful for you. Okay, let's see. I think I read for Nancy Sue. Thank you so much for that, though, Sherry. Let's see. It's time for you, girl. This is the Ask and It Is Given Oracle deck by Esther Hicks. Yeah. Let's see. Hold on. I'm going back up in the feed because Spirit says I missed someone. Hold on. Who did I miss? Show me what I missed. Okay. Kaylee. My fiance is interviewing for a job, and I would love to have guidance on how best to support him. Hi, Kay. What a sweetheart you are. Let me see what the cards have to say about this, Kay. Interesting answer to your question. Why does my saying no to it mean saying yes to it? When you give something attention, you say yes to it. You are including it in your vibration. But when you look at something you do not want and say no to it, you are still including it in your vibration. You cannot exclude anything that you are giving your attention to. So you literally have to stop paying attention to it. So, focusing on the best possible outcome and standing in faith is the best way to support him. It feels like, I'll tell you what it feels like, Kay. It feels like there's a lot riding on this. I don't know why. But I feel pressure. I don't know if that's accurate. It feels like expectation and pressure. And what I would recommend to you is to try to transform that expectation or that pressure into joy and excitement. When we want to manifest something, the most powerful thing we can do is get into a space of like pure joy and presence and excitement about it and take all the pressure off. It's like, everything will unfold in perfect time, but the most productive thing we can do is just be in a state of conscious excitement and awareness, and because that's a field that attracts energy versus repelling energy. Does that make sense? So I think helping him stay excited and open is the best way to be a source of good support. It's hard sometimes. I've been there. All right, Melissa Chafardo. She said, I'd be blessed by some universal wisdom. She's got big changes happening. All right, Melissa, let's see what's coming up for you. Melissa. And then I'm going to do our collective card after this. So here's Melissa's card. When I reverse the thought, I reverse the condition. Isn't that true? There is no condition so severe that you cannot reverse it by choosing different thoughts. However, choosing different thoughts requires focus and practice. If you continue to focus as you have been, to think as you have been, and to believe as you have been, then nothing in your experience will change. Now you're already going through change, right? Metamorphosis is the butterfly, right? Leaving the cocoon. So the guides are talking about focus and intention, and they're talking again about this new moon. This new moon's a big one for a lot of you. It came up last night in the readings too. I don't know if you guys were there live for class, or I did live readings after class last night too, so you can always go back and listen to those if you're curious, or listen to last night's class, which I would recommend when you have time. It's about bringing the thoughts and the attention into alignment with what you want to create. You're already going through change, but I feel like this new moon has there's some energy around it, and there's a refinement of an intention that needs to happen. Something's already in progress, but it's like looking for you to express what you want to see unfold in this dynamic or this situation. It's very important, because it's still in progress. And whatever this is like, they're showing me June, July, August, September, October, until November 1 is whatever this phase is that you're in. So it's all of July, all of August, all of September, all of October. It's 4 months, this phase, that they're talking about. And so maybe don't focus on tomorrow, for tomorrow night's new moon, maybe don't focus on like the whole world of possibility, but maybe focus on what part of it you're tackling between summer solstice, the last 2 weeks, up until Samhain time. That's where they want you to put your attention for right now. Oh my goodness, Christina G. She said, I'm so emotional. And she had a woman call her today telling her that she owed money on a doctor's bill. Are you sure that's accurate? Because sometimes you get kind of, spam type calls. So just triple, quadruple check. Yeah. Let me just pull a quick card around that, Christina Galtari. Let me see what's coming up. Christina G. Here's the card. I can gradually change my vibrational frequency. So push further into that and try not to go to a place of fear. Try to go to a place of trust is my immediate message to you. Yeah. All right, time for a collective card. Collective card. This is a card for the collective. Everyone in Soul Shift now. A card to guide us for the next 2 weeks in our alchemical journey together. A card for everyone watching now, everyone who will be watching later. Soul Shift. I've never pulled this card before. Are you ready? I will never get there, so I will enjoy my journey. It says, you cannot ever get it done because you cannot ever cease to be, and you can never halt your awareness. Yet out of your awareness will be born another asking, and each asking will summon another answering. Your eternal nature is one of expansion, and expansion is the potential for unspeakable joy. Isn't that an interesting concept? That what if there is no destination? What if it's all journey? And what if it's a never-ending journey of just endless expansion? Then what's the destination? The destination is this moment. It's hard to hold it, isn't it? I know. This is big. It's big for me too. I'm a type A person, and I'm always like on to the next thing, and I'm very task oriented and very masculine, you know what I mean? Like do, go. But what if it's not about that? What if it's just about the process of getting to each goal that you set, and that's the real journey, that's the real medicine, right? And what if there's unspeakable joy to be experienced in each part of that process? Yeah. Now, I think humans are guided to destinations because it keeps us, it like lets us throw the anchor a little bit ahead so that we keep, the universe can pull us forward and pull us forward and pull us forward. I think it's very human to have goals. You know what I mean? Like, sure, let her have a goal. Let her do it. It'll keep her busy for a little while, right? But then we don't realize it's the people that we meet on the way, and it's the experiences that we have on the way, and it's the conversations that we have on the way, and it's the love that we make on the way, and it's the, right, it's the passion we encounter on the way that makes the whole thing worthwhile. Pretty intense. So being with that, right? As we move through this phase of alchemy, which is all about coming home, making a home. I'm in an interesting phase of my life right now where, you know, my parents are getting older. My dad's turning 81 tomorrow, and you know, we're talking about you know, who will take over their house and their, you know what I mean? And I've been kind of a matriarch in my family for a long time. I'm the only one of the kids who had children, and I host the holidays and I do all that stuff. But there's a little bit of the changing of the guard happening in my family right now, which feels like pressure. But at the same time, it also feels like it's beautiful because it's the natural evolution, you know what I mean, of like, everything leads to this, right? One day my children will go through the same process with me and Dave, where it's like they have to start to pick up the pieces and move it forward and decide who's going to do this and who's going to take that, right? And so we have these goals, but the universe, like, time pulls us forward, the goals pull us forward, and yet in every moment it's like an invitation just to be here. And here's what I'm going to say. A lot of you, like, where you are right now is not easy. And I've been through a lot of the things that you're going through right now, right? With losing a job or losing someone you love or health challenges or whatever it is. And in those moments, it's easy to just wish your way out of it, you know what I mean? Or wish your way past it. The weird thing is, I guess I can say in hindsight that if I could go back 11 years ago and be in that space again with the knowledge I have now, you know, I would do it. Because there's so much about that part of my life, even though it was probably the hardest part of my life, that was so sweet, and I can't get that back. And what I regret, if there is a regret, what I regret is I focused so much on the fear and the anxiety of that time that I didn't fully enjoy what was really cool about it and irreplaceable about it. So I hope you can find a way in the middle of your challenges to enjoy what is also beautiful about where you are, so that you don't look back and feel that way too. I hope that resonates with you today, because there's always something beautiful, even in those moments, but sometimes we can't see it where we are, you know? Yeah, be here now. It's still beautiful. And there are some things that you won't be able to get back when this time passes. Ooh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cry. I'm not normally a crier, but the energy, you know? I see you. Be here now. Now I'm gonna flip the script. Thank you to my spirit guides, and thank you to your spirit guides too, for helping us to have this kind of sweet moment of kinship and connection. Yeah, it's still good, you know? It's still good. It'll never be quite this way again. Now I'm gonna flip the script. It was a collective card for me too, you know? It's a reminder to me, like, even when it's hard, this is cool. You know, this is still cool. So we're gonna talk about sex in an hour. I think I need to go burn something to go get back in my spiciness a little bit. Yeah, there's still something great about this moment. And don't wait for a year or 5 years or 10 years to appreciate it. Appreciate it now. Love you guys. All right, I'm gonna go sign off and do whatever the fuck I need to do with my makeup and get ready for sex talk. Woo! And yeah, I think about what I'm really referring to in my life is I was so afraid of MS that you know, I was not living in the present. And I was a great mom to my kids, but I was so overwhelmed with fear that I wasn't gonna see them grow up, or I wasn't gonna, you know what I mean? And I wish somebody had told me it was gonna be okay and to not get so mired down. And I just couldn't see it. Yeah. So don't let the bad news of your life kind of submarine the good news and the beauty, you know? Because there's still so much good. Yeah. I want to hug you too. I love you. I'll be back in a little bit.